Okay everyone, if you own a Bissell ProHeat pet carpet cleaner and your machine isn't performing, isn't picking up water, isn't putting down water, or any of those sort of things, watch this video because I'm going to share with you how to fix all those problems. So step number one is pretty easy. It would be, if your machine isn't sucking up from the floor, make sure it's set to floor cleaning. That is the most basic thing. When it's set to floor cleaning, you should get suction from the floor. If you're not getting suction from the floor, then there's a few things you can try. You can take the tank off like this. And make sure that your tank is not full and this float valve right here, this red piece right there, hasn't gotten stuck. To take it off, you simply rotate forwards. If this is stuck up, you can clean this area, make sure that there's nothing blocking this from going back down. Another place that can be clogged is you can check right in here and see if there's any dirt. You can also remove this filter. This filter right here can get clogged. All you do is you just pry up and it flies off like that. This can get caked up in pet hair. If it's caked up in pet hair or dirt, rinse it off, scrub it with a toothbrush or some type of brush, dry it, and place it back inside of your machine. Another place to look is make sure that this right here isn't clogged. If this gets clogged or dirty, you can see there's some hair on it, it will not pick up water. And make sure in here is not super dirty either, because if in here gets clogged or there's something wrong with that, like the seal is broken or it's dirty in there, clean that out and make sure there's nothing stuck. So next is checking your nozzle. Your nozzle can be removed in this machine, and I'll show you how to do that. So this is the nozzle, this is where the extraction happens. This is where your suction comes from. If you have the specific machine I have, you should get this tool. This tool right here. This is the nozzle clean out tool. If your machine has hair or something stuck in it, you can take this, stick it right here, run it through like this, making sure pull out all that pet hair and dirt that's stuck in the nozzle. But say you need to completely remove this nozzle. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. To remove your nozzle, you're going to need a screwdriver or a drill. I'm going to use a drill just to save some time. And of course, you need a plus head bit. And then there's a screw right here. You need to remove that screw. Excuse the noise outside. And then you need to remove this screw. And now the nozzle pops up just like that. And now you can clean all of the dirt. This is part. The nozzle will separate into two parts. So I'm going to clean this, run it across these gaskets, make sure there's no dirt stuck in here. If there is dirt, you can take a rag like this and wipe it out like that. Wipe off this part right here, making sure that there's no dirt, hair, or grime stuck in here. This is to separate your nozzle. This is really easy to do. If your machine isn't suctioning, this nozzle could be completely clogged up, and then your machine will not be performing as well. This area can get clogged. Make sure you have this whole area cleaned out. When it is cleaned out, you just place it like this. Line up the two screws, or line up the nozzle, and then put your two screws back in, just like this. Your nozzle is back in. Make sure to set your clutch to low. It's 3, like on this drill, because you don't want to accidentally break your carpet cleaner. So those are the things that can stop the machine from having suction. Now to stop your machine from, if your machine has no spray, that's a completely different thing, and we're going to get into that right now. If your machine isn't spraying any water, number one is, of course, if the water is empty, fill the water. But another thing is, unless you have water in the second solution tank, this tank right here, it will not spray anything. So make sure that this is full, because if this isn't full, your machine will not spray. There's a little clip right here that's shaped like an X. You can press that Make sure water comes out. Yes, it does. Your tank is okay. Make sure that's full. Now another thing you can check is if you recline your machine like this, you can unscrew this little cap right here. It's a little bit tight, but it comes off. On now. Like that. And then you can remove this little, yes, that's really stuck in there, isn't it? Wheel, and then this little thing. I'll try that quickly. If this is completely clogged up with dirt and materials, make sure that this isn't clogged and this isn't clogged. Place this back in like that. Place this back in like that. And now your machine should be spraying. Like if this is spinning, there's water flowing through. If that's not spinning, then it could be your belt. I'm going to show you how to take off your belt. You're going to need a plastic pry tool, like this one right here. I'm going to take this. Yes. And then pry this up. This might not be as easy as I thought it was. But anyways, this will come off. I just got to figure out how to get this to come off. Well, this Bissell says it's supposed to come off. That's cheap. It looks like it's finally coming. Like that. Goodness gracious, Bissell, what in the world? Make sure that this belt is intact. You can see this belt. This belt attaches to the machine's motor, which is right here. If this belt isn't spinning, then your machine will not spray water because this belt right here powers this right here, which is the water pump. So replace this belt. If it is broken or worn, you can see mine's perfectly fine because my machine is brand new. Well, not brand new, but is relatively new. I've had it for like a week. So once you have done that, you can pull that off, replace the belt, and put that back on. Now that's back. Another reason your machine might not be spraying is if your spray tips are dirty. Pull this down, and there are two little white tips right here. You can see one is right there, and one is right there. If you can see them, takes a small brush, like this toothbrush right here, and go like this across them, and clean them up like that. The best way is to recline your machine. Rotate it over like this. I'm going to take the water tank off. I'm going to show you that it's way easier to get access to them like this. Move my camera down. That's way easier to get access to them like this. You can see it can get pretty dirty up in here, so I'm going to take this rag, try to take this brush first, and I'm just going to pull up some of the hair that's stuck down in here. Loosen some of that hair. Take this rag and start working it out. This is the automatic adjusting brush roll. This brush roll goes like this to adjust to your carpet pile type. Now if you want to clean your brush roll, take this little spikes. You can see all the hair that this tool can find. Ow. Just run it across. Don't pinch yourself like I did by putting your hand right in here. Rotate this across. Make sure to do that right there. Yep, that's how I do it. If you don't have a collection of vacuums all over your house like me, then that should work. The tool should work just fine. If you have this specific model, your machine will come with this tool. And also wipe the bottom off like this. It will get dirty and dusty on the bottom. See the Bissell heat wave. But anyways, now that this spot is mostly cleaned up and those spray tips are clean, you can rotate the machine back and forth like this, pick it up, and place this monster back down. This is a big and heavy carpet cleaner. But anyways, those are the things that you should do if your machine does not spray and if the machine does not pick up water. If your machine comes with this tool, use it because it's very, very helpful. But yeah, so when you're done with your machine, if your machine still does not work, I would recommend contacting Bissell themselves. But if your machine does work after this, you're welcome. Because I just saved you from having to buy another machine. So please let me know what you think about this video. Tell me what you would like to see me do next. And I will see you next time with more videos. Goodbye.